Hey there, fellas, and it is once again story time. Now, I know I spent a lot of time telling you guys why I'm doing something rather than just doing it like most other YouTubers do. But I want you guys to be there, right there with me. Okay? I know that I haven't washed my face. Uh, and it's not a good thing. But I'll get to that after I do this one thing. So, basically, I want to tell you guys about a beating plank in easy terms. Basically, it is a big plank of wood that I cut at school, and it looks kind of like a sword, just a little bit. The main problem with it is it's incredibly off-weighted. The all the weight is on the one side of the handle, and it's huge. Okay. It is like near impossible to lift with one hand on the first try, and it took me like a month. Right? None of intense training. Not intense at all. It probably could have taken some people like 3 days. Like that. I'm just not like that avid with heavy lifting. Okay. Well, that's not true. but but getting the weight right in my wrist where I wouldn't snap it, right? That took a little bit of time. Now that balance is actually really important. But what I want to talk about was more how I got the idea. Before I started school, trade school, where I was learning construction technology, which is a fancy word for manual free child labor. It's really cool. It's really cool. Anyway, I was reading a particular book called Berserk, and it looked really cool. And I really loved the art style and the character, the weapon design, everything about it. Right? It's so good. Except for at times, it is dark. But it's dark fantasy. It serves as it says it does. And I got over that. Mostly. It's a really cool sword. It was always in the back of my head, just because of how much I liked the show itself. So what I had done, I actually ended up helping build a cool little doghouse. But we never finished it, unfortunately. No, we finished it. We did finish it. We finished the doghouse, and I noticed that the pieces in the roof looked a little strange. So, as anyone who does roofing knows, the pieces look like that, right? Your things go here, over the edge of the roof, right? This would be your wall, right here. And this would be your slope. I guess this would be your slope. And they'd meet together at the middle. And that basically makes a roof once you got two of those. So, that looks like a freaking machete. Obviously, especially when it's on a bigger roof, it's more stretched. It's usually, a lot longer. So I figured I had to, make one and take it home. Now, originally, I was going to do it, just like that. I decided not to because, one, well, this thing here, the bird's mouth here, it has to go in very deep, right? So unless you're using like 6-inch wood, which I think I ended up using anyway, it'd go right through. Before I realized I didn't have to cut it that deep if I'm not putting it in a roof, I don't know, because I have a smooth brain or something, I decided I'm just gonna make it flat. So that's exactly what I did, right? Now, before I got my final result, I initially wanted to have the handle more like this. Hold on. Make sure it's in the camera. More like that. Centered. Just like in Berserk, right? Of course, it wouldn't be nearly as big or even a percentage as heavy, but I ended up going with this because I realized that if you tried to cut in this, you essentially mess with the structural integrity on both sides, making it a third as strong as if you just leave the strength along the grain or something like that. It, in my head, it makes sense. I'm not 100% sure how to explain it, but I went with this, and you'll notice when you turn it, I also flattened this, which is not what you want to do on a roof, but I did it anyway for the sword. For the beating stick, sorry, not a sword. Now, this next part is a demonstration, or a reveal more. It's like 3 feet wide, or 3 feet long, and 6 inches wide. So, I'll get back to you guys in just a snap. This thing is just dirtier than I remember, right? There's like sawdust and ink all over it, so hold by. I meant stand by, but this thing, right? It's a really cool, really long wooden sword, and it's heavy on one side. So it feels like 10 times heavier against gravity inside there. It's like a hammer. It's really only like 5 pounds at the most, but it feels like 50 at the right angle at least. On this side, I had a bunch of notes written down. Obviously, some of these, you know, they're just etchings, but I honestly don't feel like doing any of them. What I might do though, I might like sharpen it, which I'll just like grind down each of these sides to look like a point, but I'm never actually gonna give it a real solid point because it's made of wood. The hell is it gonna cut? Now, aside from the fact that it's really heavy and really good at swinging, it looks really cool too. Like, I'm kind of a nerd. A fat nerd. At that. When I got this thing, I feel awesome. I accidentally hit this glass cup on my desk. Dodged a bullet. This. But I didn't do it. Anyway, this thing is cool. I was thinking about, you know, filling in some of these gaps with an epoxy resin, or maybe staining it. Anyway, that's all for this one. I don't know if this is shorter or longer than normal. I'm not really keeping track, but thanks for watching. I'm gonna do a time lapse of me swinging it so it looks like I'm really fast. Okay? Thank you guys for watching. I think I broke my controller. Controller is fine. See you next time.